GiveWP-a-Thon. Happy Giving Tuesday, and welcome. So for those of you who don't know what Giving Tuesday is, Giving Tuesday is the Tuesday following Thanksgiving every year, and it was started in New York in 2012 by the YMCA, the 92nd Street YMCA, in partnership with the United Nations. So in the past almost 10 years, not quite, it's grown quite a bit. So lots of nonprofits fundraise today, and it's a day filled with giving. So hopefully you've chosen an organization to give to today, or you're part of an organization that is making a difference in the world. Today we're going to highlight 10 campaigns, give away 4 different prizes, and generally just have a great time talking about Giving Tuesday. So welcome. Please say hi, drop a line in the comments, let us know you're here, and looking forward to chatting with everybody today. Sorry for the late start, but we are here now. So like I said, givingtuesday.org is the foundation that runs Giving Tuesday. So go there if you don't know anything about Giving Tuesday, or if you want to find resources or more information. And today we actually have a giveaway. So I want to start off today by letting you know that we're going to be giving away a plus plan. So our GiveWP Plus plans come with all of our add-ons, including recurring donations, fee recovery, and tributes. So in addition to accepting donations on your site, you get everything included. So how that's going to work is we're asking you to tag your favorite nonprofit. So we want to make sure that one nonprofit at least today gets a plus plan so they can raise even more money next year. Invite your friends, and the nonprofit who gets tagged the most during this whole live broadcast will win. Invite your staff, your volunteers, even invite your donors to come watch this broadcast. And then how you're going to have that nonprofit win is tag them in the comments. And we'll be looking out for comments without tags too, because I know that Facebook has had some issues lately tagging pages occasionally. So if you find that the page isn't tagged, that's okay. Try to tag the page and just say, hey, I'm here with your favorite nonprofit, or even if you're not part of that nonprofit, that's okay. Just tag their page. If the winner happens to already be a GiveWP customer, they can either pay it forward and give it to somebody else, or they can work out a deal with our customer success team for their renewal date. But we're hoping we see somebody pay it forward if our customers win it today. So get your friends here, get your volunteers here, and tag your nonprofit. We're also giving away a bunch of Give swag today. So I actually skipped something. Actually, first we're giving away for our participants, where they're also getting a license, but they're not getting a GiveWP license because most of them already have them. Actually, I think every participant today does have a Plus license. And ShelterBox might not. So all of our participants today are also going to get a WP Business Reviews license. So WP Business Reviews displays your reviews on your website. And we're giving away that license because we did notice that a lot of our participants today do have online reviews, and we think that it would be awesome to use social proof on their donation pages so that people can see how awesome their organizations are with real online reviews. So WP Business Reviews is going to every participant today, so they are getting something as well. And then we're also going to send each of them a Give mug and t-shirt, so they're going to get something. And for all of our other participants, or not participants, for all of our viewers, we have a few GiveWP swag giveaways. So I have a t-shirt and a tote bag filled with lots of Give stuff. I have a pint glass with a bottle opener, and you can see all the stickers and magnets in there, and our infamous GiveWP mugs. So today, during our live event, our live marathon, I am going to be giving away 3 different swag bags with all of that inside of it. But you have to be here to win, and I will tell you how throughout the event. Back to our first giveaway. don't forget to invite your nonprofits. We see a lot of ShelterBox here, and that's awesome. Welcome, ShelterBox. We're so happy to have you here. But everybody else, don't forget to invite your volunteers, your board, your staff, and have them tag you in the comments. Enter your nonprofit to win. At the end of this 3 hours, we're going to pick a winner for the Plus plan, and that winner doesn't have to be here, but to win the swag, you do have to be here. So if you want a gift t-shirt, you have to be here. Roy, everybody wants our one-sided mug. All right, now to the main event. All of our organizations today have put a lot of effort into their Giving Tuesday campaigns. So we have 8 people coming in live to talk, well, not coming in, but joining us live to talk about their campaigns and how they executed it. And then we have a few other things going on with another few organizations in addition to that. So total, we have 10 organizations here on the GiveWP-a-Thon. And first, we're going to start with Hope for Ecuador, which is a religious-based organization. And then we're gonna move on to ShelterBox, which has made a beautiful appearance in the comments. And ShelterBox provides shelter to families who lost their homes to disaster or conflict. And then after that, we'll have Lifewater International on, who provides clean water to remote areas. And for those of you who don't know, clean water access is actually a very big issue in a lot of places. And then San Diego Refugee Tutoring helps local refugees here in San Diego, where I'm from, with school and studying and adjusting to a new education system. And then finally, or not finally, but up next after that, we'll have Panda Network, who saved the red pandas. And they were on the GiveWP-a-Thon last year, so we're super excited to have them back. And then we'll have Eat Real, which helps kids eat right. And then Algae, I think I said that correctly. It's an organization that creates sustainable solutions by transforming waste into valuable products with algae. So I'm excited to learn about that. And then finally, last but not least, we'll have Norwescap. I definitely did not say that one correctly, but they improve the lives of low-income families and individuals in northwestern New Jersey. So really excited to have everybody here today. First up, we will bring in Hope for Ecuador. And I need to figure out how to get them on here. One sec, guys. We're getting them live. Maybe. Well, as part of any live broadcast, there will always be something that holds things up. I don't know if we have Hope for Ecuador here. I think I see them in the queue. Okay, we're gonna see if they come back later. I think maybe they're having technical difficulties with their camera, and we're gonna move on to ShelterBox because they are definitely here and they showed up strong with a posse. Excuse me. Hi.
Hi.
How are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure. Thank you for having us.
I was really excited about your organization, so I'm excited to hear all about it. Tell me about your Giving Tuesday campaign.
For sure. So for anyone that doesn't know, I know you kind of briefly outlined it, but ShelterBox is an international disaster relief charity. So we provide emergency shelter and all of the supplies that families need, not only to recover, but to rebuild after disasters and conflict anywhere in the world. And all of our aid that we provide is customized for each community that we help because every place is different. So today on Giving Tuesday, we're hoping to bring everyone together to help 60 families today by raising $30,000.
Wow, yeah, that's awesome. So 60 families is quite a lot of families when you think about how much it takes to actually shelter a family. How much does it cost per family?
So it's obviously pretty dependent on where in the world they are, how remote they are, how much they need, but our average cost for a family is about $500. So this would provide not only the best type of emergency shelter for their situation, but things like blankets or solar lights or water purification, those basic essentials that they need right after disaster.
Okay. Yeah. I actually, so being from California, have benefited from organizations like yours because I did lose my home in a natural disaster.
Wow.
So I'm personally like super excited about your cause. And I will be giving to it later today.
Thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Is this the first time you've done Giving Tuesday?
No, this is actually the 5th year that we've done Giving Tuesday. It's the 3rd year that we've done it with a match. So we've partnered with the Rotary Club of Kenora. Rotary is a project partner of ours internationally, and they recognize the need for ShelterBox around the world and want to encourage other people to donate. So they've offered to match donations today, which is really exciting.
That's incredible. So that was your first matching donor ever. I feel like most of my success stories that I've heard about Giving Tuesday have had matching donors.
Yeah, so this is actually our 3rd year with them. The 2 years that we did Giving Tuesday before we had kind of a bigger campaign and the match available, we raised significantly less money, but the match and also promotion on social media and boosting posts and more intricate web posts and things have definitely helped boost our campaign and bring more people together.
Awesome. So how's it going so far today?
It's actually going really well. So we're already just past halfway to our goal, which is fantastic. So we're really excited. Unfortunately, 89 million people lost their homes last year. So there is an unbelievable need out there for ShelterBox. And so if we can help more than 60 families today, that would be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it would. So hopefully you will definitely exceed your goal. That's awesome that you're halfway there.
Yeah, thanks.
So I already asked you that question. How did you go about planning this campaign this time around? I know that you've done past campaigns before, so I'm assuming you looked back and kind of paid it forward.
Definitely. So we looked at what we've done in previous years, what worked, what didn't. We definitely wanted to do a bit more this year with social media advertising and boosting, and that has been successful so far. We also reached out to the Rotary Club of Kenora again to see if they'd be willing to participate because that had such a big impact and they were readily on board, which is great. And then, just preparing for lots of social media posts, getting our website all organized. We have a few emails going out to all of our current supporters. So those have kind of gone into the preparation. And just getting ourselves ready and clearing our schedules today. It's one of my favorite days of the year to kind of see so many people coming together and giving back is really exciting.
Yeah, it's my favorite day of the year too. I woke up this morning super excited to talk to everybody about everything they're doing today because it's just so cool to see like how much effort goes into one campaign of the year and how successful it can be.
I think too, it's really neat for us to see so many people come together to make a difference. And I think when this many people give on one day, we can kind of show the impact, whether you're donating $5 or $20 or $1,000, it's making such a difference. And to see that kind of collective impact all on one day is really neat.
Yeah, definitely. I saw that Giving Tuesday UK had a giant billboard up somewhere this morning, and it made me happy. I was hoping to see one in San Diego, but I didn't.
Yeah, I haven't seen any here in Toronto either.
Oh, sorry, I lost my place. Well, it sounds like your campaign is going great. Is there anything else that you would like to share with our viewers or with your donors? Anything at all about your campaign?
Yeah, I mean, I think just any amount that people can give will make such a difference. I've personally been on the ground distributing ShelterBox aid, and I've seen that sort of moment of relief when a family has a safe place to sleep again, and just how much shelter can do to transform a community It means that kids have a place to do their homework at night and can get back to school, and things can start to get back to normal. And it's such a truly amazing gift to give someone. So anyone that can help join our movement today is greatly appreciated. And we really appreciate the support. I think you guys have sent out kind of links as well, but our website is shelterboxcanada.org.
Yes, and we have your Giving Tuesday page showing up here, so you'll know you're on the right one when you see that. And your form is beautiful, by the way.
Thank you.
We took a look at your Give page, and it's pretty awesome.
We were very happy when we were able to switch to Give and have a much more customizable form than what comes with sort of the standard database. So that's been really great. And we've seen definitely a big uptake in donations from having a more customizable form.
Oh, cool. What were you using before, if you want to share?
Yeah, so the database that we use is Sumac. We've used other ones in the past, and they all come with kind of standard donation forms, which are fine. They're totally functional. But we wanted something that was kind of customizable and pretty and could fit within other pages and not be kind of like a really long sort of standardized form. So that's how we found Give, and we've been really happy with it.
Nice, that's great to hear. All right, cool. Well, thank you for coming on today. I'm going to bring on Hope for Ecuador. I think that they are here now. So awesome. I appreciate you joining us.
Thanks again for having us.
Thank you. Good luck.
Thanks.
Oh, excuse me. So that was ShelterBox Canada, and they are, like we said, they help shelter families after they lose their homes in natural disaster. And next up, we're going to bring in Hope for Ecuador, who, if I remember correctly, this organization is actually launching with Giving Tuesday. So, hello, welcome.
Hi.
Tell me a little bit more about.
I will work in the co-pilot.
Well, Hope for Ecuador was started after we had made several trips to Ecuador with our family and our children. And after being in the country, we just realized that there's a lot of children down there that are underprivileged, and they just need some basic needs, sometimes like hygiene products, you know, backpacks, just some basic school supplies. And our family, we just felt led to do something about that.
Really turned into a bigger event where we bring teams out with medical needs, emergency medical equipment, and go into the regions of Ecuador and the Andes Mountains and reach out to smaller communities just to help out.
That's amazing. So how long have you been going to Ecuador for? How many years have you returned?
We have been going for the past 6 years. And we've taken several people down there. Sometimes it's teenagers and just, you know, other teams, and just kind of also just showing people, you know, the needs outside of here in America. That happens sometimes in other countries.
Cool. So was I correct? You are launching your organization with Giving Tuesday this year?
Yes, we're actually getting ready to launch it in the next hour or two. We kind of did a promo video last night, letting some people know we're getting ready to make a special announcement today. And so we're launching, we're going to be asking for people to support us with a $10 a month donation. And we, you know, made up some t-shirts and stuff. So it's kind of our kickoff. We just thought it would be the perfect day to do it on Giving Tuesday.
Yeah, we're new to the 501c3 market, but we are not new to actual humanitarian work and missions work. So this is what we're formally getting to this launching now.
Right. Well, that's awesome. I think we had one organization, I think last year launch on Giving Tuesday, and I think they were pretty successful. So that's a pretty good idea. How's that going so far? I think you just said you launched in 2 hours, actually.
We had some teasers out though, and it's been it's gone very well throughout our social media network, and they've definitely been spreading, getting ready for that big announcement. So it's definitely building.
Yes.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about how you use social media.
Well, we obviously have a Facebook account, which has been going very successful. We have a Twitter, YouTube channel, and honestly, it's been kind of crazy. The funny things that, go viral are just the crazy everyday life videos that we've kind of posted about packing things, packing up supplies, and people just kind of relate to that.
Yeah, I think we've even found as a software company that the human side is much more enticing for people on social media, especially when you're raising money for a nonprofit or doing something like going on a trip to Ecuador. I think that the storytelling is part of it is what people are very interested in.
Yes, I agree.
So have you ever participated in any sort of Giving Tuesday campaign other than with this organization in the past, or is this kind of your first experience with a major fundraiser?
This is definitely our first experience with a major fundraiser. We've done some local stuff, around here in our community before. Mark is a firefighter, so, he's done different campaigns and stuff like that. But this is definitely where we are actually in charge of. This is our first one of doing that.
I will say that Give and WordPress have been very helpful as far as the community showing us how to do that, because it's our first year doing that. So we had to put a lot of stuff together, but it's nice to have that community around us trying to learn all this.
Oh, that's great. So you're in our Facebook group community, right?
Yes, we are, which has been filled with lots of extra advice and tips, which has been so helpful. This was honestly, I'm not a web designer. We don't do that stuff. And so we just kind of stumbled on WordPress and just felt comfortable. And knowing we were going to be doing online donations, really wanted a safe and secure place for people to donate through. And so I just started watching, WordPress videos and all those helpful tips. And that's how we designed our website, and obviously decided to go with Give because it just made sense. It was an easy plugin, and every step of the way, you guys kind of had a video to kind of walk me through that process.
Oh, that's great. Were you able to use any of our Giving Tuesday resources like the workbook or the emails?
I did. We did read the workbooks and stuff and kind of go through it. We honestly have been in such a crazy transition time with everything since we, just got our paperwork back from the state and the IRS, that I felt that next year we're going to be very well prepared.
Yeah, it's a kind of a trial by fire this year. So.
I feel like that's how it goes with everybody, though. And actually, I would love to interview you more later offline about your experience starting a nonprofit, because we're going to be doing a series at the beginning of next year about how to start a nonprofit. So I'm looking for all of the information I can get. And we have a few people at Give who've done it as well, but it'd be great to get your insight.
Yes, absolutely. We'll be more than happy to do that.
Awesome. Let's see what else I had to ask you today. So do you have a specific goal for today? Are you just hoping to launch and get the word out? Or is there like a monetary goal that you're aiming for this one day?
Not necessarily a monetary goal today. We just want to get our information out to as many people as possible. And if the people want to partner with us as far as spreading the word or partner with us financially, we're happy with either of those, because we're just getting off the ground. So we're hoping for more word of mouth than anything.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think Giving Tuesday is a great time to get the word out about your organization. And we have a beautiful comment right here that says, lovely page, lovely purpose. So we have some fans here.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. We're going to go on to our next swag
Thank
giveaway
you so
now.
much.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day. And actually, good luck. Let me know how it goes when you launch.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
All right, we will.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
All right. Reminder to all of our viewers, please invite your friends, invite your volunteers, invite your staff, and have them tag their organization in the comments. Right now, ShelterBox is most definitely in the lead for this Plus Plan giveaway. So remember, throughout this whole 3 hours, we're going to be looking for people to tag their favorite organization in the comments, and that organization is going to win a Plus Plan license. But first, I'm going to give away some swag. So like I said, we have these awesome tote bags, which I filled with all kinds of goodies, including a t-shirt and a pint glass and a mug. So for how this is going to work is I'm going to give you some trivia and you have to find the answer on our website. So if you want, open our website right now, and it's GiveWP-a-Thon. And then the first person to tell me what you should do when you don't reach a fundraising goal, what the first thing you should do when you don't reach a fundraising goal, first person to tell me that wins. So we wrote this article last year about what you should do if you don't reach a fundraising goal, specifically because Giving Tuesday is very competitive. And I think it's really important to remember that Giving Tuesday is all about getting the word out about your organization, just like Hope for Ecuador just showed us. You know, that's kind of the main point, because sometimes you're not going to reach that fundraising goal. But then on the other hand, we do see organizations like the City Mission last year who obliterated their goal and just completely like doubled, almost tripled it. So Giving Tuesday is competitive, and some won't reach their goals, but others will. So what is the first thing that you should do when you don't reach your fundraising goal? Find that answer on the Give website. It is GiveWP.com. And while you do that, I'm going to stand because I have a nifty standing desk. All right. I see ShelterBox Canada. Pascal, you can celebrate your success anyway and extend your campaign. Celebrating your success anyway is the right answer. So Pascal, you won our Give WP swag giveaway. I will find you afterwards and send you a direct message to let you know how we're going to get that to you. So one of the most important things to remember after Giving Tuesday is stay positive and celebrate your success anyway. You might not reach your intended monetary goal, but you got the word out about your organization and people did give. So you need to remember to thank your donors and celebrate your success. And then other things you can do to actually meet your goal anyway are continue your campaign, extend it, or find a matching donor. So I think finding a matching donor is probably the best route to go, because if you extend your campaign, you're just constantly asking people for money. Whereas you might find a business or something along those lines that is willing to give to your cause and match what you've already raised. So thank you, Pascal. I hope I said your name correctly. All right, so it's pretty exciting. Next up, we have Lifewater International, and they are running a campaign to, I think it's about 10, they want to complete 10 projects with their campaign today, but it could be wrong, so we'll find out details from them about that. And Lifewater International completes water projects in areas that need access to clean water. So we'll get them on here very soon. Hello.
Hello.
Welcome. Thanks for joining us. How are you doing today?
Tuesday, huh?
Happy Giving Tuesday.
I'm glad to be here.
Good. We're happy to have you here. It's been a crazy Giving Tuesday. Has it been pretty crazy for you?
Yeah, we're off to a great start. As you mentioned, we are looking to fund water projects for Giving Tuesday, and we have a goal of 10, and we've already funded 2 this morning. So we're pretty excited about how things are starting for us.
Wow, that's awesome. 2 out of 10, so you're 20% there.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool. Which, I can't remember where you are in the country.
We're in California, so we're
Okay.
we're in San Luis Obispo, which is just a few hours up the road from where you guys are down in San Diego.
Yeah, cool. All right, so you definitely just started this morning as well.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting. You're already that far into your goal. How did you go about planning this campaign?
Sure. So first of all, my name is Gary. I'm the marketing director here at Lifewater International. We're one of the oldest Christian water nonprofits in the U.S. We've been around for a little over 40 years and have served over 2.5 million people with clean water and improved health, and worked in 40 plus countries throughout the world. So Giving Tuesday, we started planning. We start planning our Giving Tuesday and year-end campaigns in the summer, typically. Spend a lot of time getting ready for that. This is our biggest season of the year for giving, like other nonprofits. So we get that going really early to make sure we have a good plan and a good story and goal in place.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think that planning well ahead is pretty much crucial on Giving Tuesday. So knowing that you start in summer is good to know. I think the last organization I talked to about when they started planning like right after the previous Giving Tuesday, and then probably forgot about it until the summer.
Yeah, I would love to get it going even earlier, but I feel good that we're at least getting it going in the summer. That's an improvement over previous years. So we're getting better every year.
It's an improvement over a lot of people. A lot of fundraisers happen last minute. So how did you go about promoting that storytelling aspect?
Well, we built the landing page that you have showing right now. We created a theme called the Real Joy Challenge. So our Giving Tuesday campaign is like a mini campaign within our overall year-end effort. And so this Real Joy Challenge is to fund 100 water projects by the end of December. And so we have a catalog that we prepared and sent out with that theme. It had 45 specific village water projects. All of our water projects are real villages with real stories that we have journalists who've gathered those stories from those villages in places like Uganda and Ethiopia and Cambodia. And then donors can choose from the website or on the catalog. They can choose exact village to sponsor, and then they get updates. So when we started planning this summer, we were talking about a theme and really wanting to focus on the positive aspects. The water crisis is kind of overwhelming. A child dies every 60 seconds from a waterborne illness, and it feels real heavy because it is heavy. But at the same time, we can actually do something about that. We know that by providing clean water and improved health, sanitation, things like washing hands or those kind of practices, that it absolutely transforms people's lives. And so it's easy. It's an easy way for people to make save lives. And so we want to get people excited. And the idea of Real Joy was something to rally around. That was this idea of clean water plus joy that lasts for people who are in very rural places. Yeah,
I really did. I spent a lot of time on your site because I was so impressed with the give customization with those forms and the stories behind them. I'm intrigued to know that you have journalists collect each of these stories. So when you actually go to their page, they have different projects and you could pick one. And then when you go in there, it has real stories of real people, and it goes into detail that is kind of just incredible. So I think it should load in a second, but this is just so cool to me that you have all those forms there, and then you go in and you can pick an actual person to benefit with your water project. So you're not just giving to some obscure project, you're giving to a face and a human being, which is awesome.
Yeah, and GiveWP was a key part in us being able to do that. We launched this new platform last year, actually. It was November 2018. We launched this new website platform that allowed us to connect donors to specific village water projects. And as you can kind of see on that page, there's a form that is on each of those. So donors can give directly on that page where they're reading the content, they're seeing the photos and the stories. They can fill out their information right there and give directly using the GiveWP plugin. So that's been a key part of our success.
Yeah, that's awesome. Honestly, I think it might be the coolest Give setup I've seen so far, but I haven't seen all of them, so.
We think it's pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool. So how many years in the past have you done Giving Tuesday, and how is this different from those?
Lifewater's been doing Giving Tuesday probably for about 5 years. I've been with the organization for 3. I think the first time we did Giving Tuesday, it was a social post that said, "It's Giving Tuesday," and a link to a classy page, and that was about it. This is a big difference. The last year was a big jump for us, switching to GiveWP and having the ability to have more control over our fundraising and our stories. And then this year is the biggest goal yet, where with 10 villages, it's over $100,000 we're trying to raise in one day. We do have matching funds, which is a huge part. I know that a number of folks have talked about matching and how important that is to get people excited about giving. Facebook gives the illusion that matching is ubiquitous on Giving Tuesday, even though it's all gone before West Coast is even online. But we partner with some of our donors who are very generous, and they provide matching funds for Giving Tuesday that allow us to get new people involved in the cause and connected and making a difference.
That's really cool. So how many different matching funds do you have this year?
We have, I think we have, it's either 2 or 3 individual donors who are participating in matching. And I think we have about $75,000 in matching that are available today. I can't remember the exact number, but so yeah, we're looking to each of those village projects range from $6,000 to $10,000 or 12 up to 12. They're big water projects. It's like villages of 400 some people. And they take a while because it's building the water project and also going house by house and training families to wash their hands and all those kind of things. So it's a pretty significant undertaking.
Yeah, I bet. I was involved in a similar organization in the past. I actually helped write their website. And so I feel like they do almost the exact same thing as you, but in a totally different area, I think. Not entirely sure, but yeah, that's pretty awesome. And I know that hygiene education is also part of what Lifewater does. And I know that that's a huge part of keeping clean water clean and keeping villages healthy. Do you want to talk a little bit about that? Absolutely. Yeah, it's interesting. I actually had the opportunity to go to Uganda in April and meet. Me too. Years ago. It was my first time in Africa, so it was really exciting. Families, they're working really hard, but for generations, especially in places where we work, we're really out in the boonies. They've never heard that washing your hands will keep you safe from getting sick. And so they know their kids are getting sick, and a lot of times they don't necessarily know why until someone's come in and helped them learn those healthy habits. So we work house by house. We have what we call a healthy village, and part of that is each home becomes a healthy home, where they learn 5 habits, including washing their hands. They store water safely, things like keeping their dishes clean and up off of the ground so animals can't get into them. They keep they sweep the area around their homes. And I can tell you the difference between the villages we visited that were healthy villages and those that were not, it was astounding. Families were healthier. They were so proud of their houses. They wanted to show us, their bathrooms, that they built their own latrines using locally available materials. So they have a safe place to go to the bathroom. It's really exciting to see the difference. That makes people feel better. Kids can go to school. And that hygiene and sanitation component is a huge part of it. That water, sanitation, and hygiene together are really what make the difference. Yeah, definitely. I think it's something we don't think about at all, really, when you're from a place like the United States. It's just not, even even the most impoverished areas of the U.S. don't have the same type of issues. Sorry, we have nice downtown noises coming by,
Nice.
so we will just wait a moment for that. Our office is in the gas lamp of San Diego, so every so often we get this or some semi trucks coming by. It's nice. Cool. So anything else you would like to share with our audience about Giving Tuesday or your organization or GiveWP, anything at all?
I just would like to encourage people with Giving Tuesday. You know, like I said, we started really small with just hosting It's Giving Tuesday, and it's important to get in the game for your organization, and even just starting small and seeing what works, and then trying something new the next year and kind of testing. I've noticed in the last 3 years with Giving Tuesday just a greater awareness of the day amongst the public. So it seems like it's gaining some traction. More organizations are getting involved. I think the Facebook match has helped tremendously. So I think it's a must do for organizations to be a part of Giving Tuesday in some capacity. Even if you're not doing a donation campaign, if you're thanking your donors, it's an opportunity to get in front of people and remind them what you do. So, and obviously using GiveWP as the platform, I would highly recommend, as we've had great success with that too. So yeah, it's great.
Thank you. Cool. Yeah, I think that's really important to remember that Giving Tuesday is just, it's a day filled with a lot of people, and it's important to plan early and get the word about your organization out there, share on social media. So thank you for sharing all of that. I'm a little bit ahead of schedule, but I don't really have any more questions for you. So
we can talk more about this weather we're having in California. It's this extreme rain, huh?
It is. So for those of you in the rest of the country or world, California doesn't really get rain. And then it did. And then it snowed even. Like it snowed at 4,000 feet.
It is funny how spoiled we are in California. We get a little bit of rain and people freak out, like we don't know what to do. And they're having nor'easters and insane weather in the rest of the country, and we don't know what to do with a little bit of rain.
Yeah, and now they're having blizzards elsewhere, and they're like, what is this rain? Why do we care? All right. Well, thank you for joining us today, and good luck with your campaign. I know that we just started out here on the West Coast, but you do have a great start going. So for our viewers, this is Lifewater International. You can go to their Giving Tuesday page. I think it's pretty easily found from their main homepage on lifewaterinternational.org. Yeah, so support clean water.
Great. Thank you very much. Thanks for having us.
Thanks. All right, so I am a little bit ahead of schedule, so I'm just going to talk. It is the Giving Tuesday miracle. Actually, I think it might be raining today.
What's happening?
Hi, Matt. Matt's going to join us now.
Hey, everyone. How's it going? Happy Giving Tuesday. Glad you're all here. We're having a great time. Taylor's kicking butt, doing a great live broadcast, and we're excited. And things are going well.
Yeah. I think that when I first published my 75-page Giving Tuesday workbook, Matt thought I was insane, but I think a lot of people here have benefited from it. So if you think my 75-page workbook was awesome, you should let me know in the comments.
I think it was really good. I mean, like 75 pages is a ton for what Giving Tuesday is in general, but it's like excellent. It's so full of great resources and things for people to lean on, and a lot of folks need kind of like a good system to walk from top to bottom through to feel confident about what they're doing, and I think we give them a huge head start with it. So
it has a lot of templates in it. It like takes up most of the pages.
It looks nice. Kirkland did a great job. He's over there like running all the tech. He did a great job of making it look pretty. So things are good. Things are good.
Right there.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, make sure that you tag your favorite nonprofit or the one that you're part of. Definitely if you're part of one, but if you're not, tag your favorite nonprofit And we'll be giving the one with the most tags or mentions in the comments a plus plan at the end of this. So ShelterBox Canada is in the lead by far.
For sure.
Like, if you're going to compete with them, you got to bring your posse, you got to bring your kids, your wife. Like, it's competition.
I have to, I've been trying to get Refugee Tutoring folks to come up here, but, you know, to get online, watch the thing, but they're a little shy. We'll see. Hopefully we get some people. I have like 5 Facebook accounts, so maybe I'll just pretend. How was it so far? Did you enjoy the interviews? Did it go well?
Yeah, I like it. I really am just so impressed with Lifewater International's customization on their forums. But I also like how Hope for Ecuador is like starting their nonprofit.
Launching it today, basically.
Yeah,
that's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's awesome because like the benefit of today is really social media.
Yeah, and gaining exposure.
Yeah.
And getting a lot of eyeballs seeing what you're doing for sure. Those were great, really interesting things. I see some folks I recognize. Hi, Roy. I have to say hi, Roy.
Hi, Roy. I can't believe I didn't say that yet.
I don't know Pascal, but I've seen him around a bit. Nice to see folks here. Keep the comments coming, people.
Hi, Joanna. Thank you for coming.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. Wow, more for ShelterBox.
Nice.
Yes. ShelterBox definitely wants to win that plus plan.
They have a huge Facebook audience, obviously. Great. That's really good.
Yeah, that's cool. We are going to do another giveaway soon too. Not right now, but after our next organization. So if you want give swag, you do have to stay tuned. That one's going to be a fun one as well.
What do you think in terms of what about the pages themselves? What do you like about the pages you saw so far?
So far, they've all just been really great looking. There is one coming up later that used Ali's Elementor template, and I think it's an awesome page, but also I'm biased because Ali made the template.
Yes,
so
for sure.
But it's a really great page. I can't remember which organization it is now, but one of them later has a great Elementor landing page.
Yeah, Ali is one of our, she's the support and community outreach coordinator at GiveWP. She does great work helping us on social and in the support queue. If you've ever done any technical support with us, you might have heard from Ali or Ben or Sam or Rick or maybe myself. But Ali has lots of skills and talents, and she wrote this great tutorial with Elementor. Page builders are really, I think, a major game changer for Giving Tuesday campaigns. I mean, a lot of organizations don't have serious web technical skills, and so the page builders give them the ability to really make something happen like relatively easily, I think.
Yeah.
Elementor does that really well. Beaver Builder does that really well. Gutenberg is doing it as well, slowly but surely.
Slowly but surely.
Yeah.
I love Gutenberg, as we all know. Yeah. So I would make mine with Gutenberg, but Elementor makes a beautiful landing page. So
yeah. For those who don't know, Gutenberg is now the new WordPress editor that used to be like a little box with a whole bunch of buttons at the top, but now it's this full page like block editor, and we kind of hype it up a lot in our content because now it went to the masses. Now block editing layouts are for everyone who uses WordPress, which is really kind of powerful, I think. So
it is. It made me be able to build sites like fast.
Nice. What do we got going in the comments here?
In the comments?
Yeah, we got some new messages.
Ali gave a wink.
Hey, Ali's helping on social. Hi, Ali.
Ali is joining us from the Give page itself today. So if you see comments from Give, that is our wonderful Ali behind the scenes.
Oh, Joanna Black says, hey, Matt, thanks to both of you hosting all these great organizations today. Thank you, Joanna. That's excellent.
I love her profile photo.
Yeah.
I want one like that.
Yeah. Giving is a part of our annual plan, so we start planning and looking for a matching partner early in the fiscal year. That's a great idea, Joanna. So essentially you're saying that you find somebody who's like, we're going to give $10,000 no matter what, and that can help double the campaign effectiveness. That's a good idea for sure. That's always helpful.
And asking early in the fiscal year or even the previous fiscal year is important because people set budgets and sometimes they just can't work around them. Yeah.
Social proofing, absolutely. That's what WP Business Reviews is all about.
Oh yeah, if you haven't heard of WP-BR yet, Joanna, check it out. I'm biased, I love it. It's my favorite. I love reviews. I think they're great, especially when you write funny ones.
We have a lot of fun with the WP-BR social accounts. It's a good, fun brand to have a little fun with and talk about funny reviews and things like that. So but reviews are important. What did I buy the other day? There was something that I bought that I was like, it was showing like 5 stars, but I was like, but it's only 4 reviews, so meh. And I found some other product that was like 300 reviews and it was 4.5 stars. I was like, well, that's better, you know. So reviews matter. It's just kind of our human nature. And if you can highlight those on your website, then that's a great way to go. Look at the Give account being so helpful. Oh my goodness. That's great.
Wink from Allie.
Nice.
Yeah, and I think nonprofits who can't think or don't know what they should collect in reviews, like ask your volunteers, ask the people you impact, ask your community, just anybody that you've come in contact with that has something nice to say about your organization, just ask them to leave you an online review on your Facebook page or on your Google account. So there's a lot of different ways you can collect reviews.
Yeah, absolutely. We're at 10 o'clock, so in 5 minutes, we're going to be bringing up my absolutely biased favorite organization. I've been working with San Diego Refugee Tutoring now since they started 10 years ago. They really are one of those organizations that I love and enjoy because they just started as like about 4 or 5 people who just were like, you know what, there's a lot of refugee students in San Diego who basically have no opportunity, no chance to do well in academics at school. And often their families are, impoverished in San Diego and need resources as well. And so they're like, what can we do about it? They were just a bunch of good volunteer folks who were just doing good stuff. And over a long period of time, they just kept doing tutoring regularly every week, and suddenly, as many of you probably know, there was a big refugee crisis in Africa and Europe mostly, that also, of course, spilled over into America, and that brought a flood of new refugees and also a flood of new volunteers. So suddenly the organization had to manage over 600 volunteers, and that was a big deal. I don't want to tell the whole story. I'm kind of telling the whole story. But I'm just kind of telling why it's important to me, why I like it. I helped them build their website on WordPress forever ago. I helped them build their brand, their name, and we just recently rebranded it with lots of help actually from Kirkland again. You can wave from the side. I kind of asked him to asked him to help me make my amateur designs look pretty, and he did a great job, and new logo and all that kind of stuff. And we have a big Giving Tuesday campaign. I'm telling the whole story. I'm sorry. I'm doing it. So, but they're coming up really soon, and they're great. I'm excited about that for sure. I learn a lot about Give through through my work that I do with Refugee Tutoring. I learn a lot about how people do donations and how fundraising is hard, and monitoring volunteers is a challenge, and all the different tools that are necessary to do all those things. And we try to inform our product and inform all of our content with those kinds of insights. that's what I really love about our whole team, is the way in which everybody gets involved in these organizations. We love the good that they're doing. Everyone who works at our company is helping and volunteering in one way or another. Often in the WordPress space, people are volunteering. We all are big fans of Donate WC, or big fans of WP and Up, and we help and coordinate things like that regularly as well. It helps us stay boots on the ground, knowing what we're doing and why Give matters, Give WP matters, and why it benefits everyone. So I don't know.
Yeah, and you're going to use some of that insight even to help with our Starting a Nonprofit series next year.
Yep, for sure. We have great resources in the WordPress community, folks who know things about the web and know things about legalese as well, who are going to help contribute towards this series, who are experts in the field, much more so than we are even, and we're looking forward to that series for sure.
Yeah, definitely. The legal part is the hard part, and we did recruit a lawyer to help us.
We might have a couple of lawyers.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So,
the more the merrier.
Yep. 10:04, I'm gonna go bring our guest out. What do you think?
Yes.
Time?
It's time.
Cool.
So our next guest is actually here in person because we are in San Diego. So San Diego Refugee Tutoring is joining us in person. I should probably take these off for this, but yeah. Hi, Mimi.
Hi.
I'm Taylor.
Hi, Mimi.
Nice to meet you. So you get to see the back end of everything, which is totally different. Oh, there we go. Cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'll pull up our questions here. For those of you watching, we have tons of screens and lots of stuff going on. So
it's really cool.
Thank you. So what do you do at San Diego Refugee Tutoring?
I'm a member of the board, and I kind of help with just administrative stuff. So I am on the ground at the tutoring sessions. So I'm a lead tutor, specifically mostly in the high school room. But I kind of just have sort of flexible life schedule, and so I'm able to kind of jump in wherever it's needed. So I've planned events and I go to the board meetings, and I just kind of help out basically wherever there's kind of a gap and help is needed. So.
Okay, awesome. So tell me what you guys are doing with Giving Tuesday. Matt talked a lot about what your organization does with students. And I know that, I think if I remember correctly, you're funding like half of your budget for next year with Giving Tuesday.
Yeah, so it's a big goal, and definitely with Giving Tuesday, it provides for us sort of basically unearmarked funds. And so because we're serving a refugee population, there's like such a variety of needs. And because our goal is educational access, that like entails so many different things, because we provide tutoring, but you know, these students have homework that they need to do at home on computers. Well, it's like, well, they don't have computers, they don't have Wi-Fi. So, you know, it really brings in, it brings in a lot of different things to be able to provide access to education. It's so much more than just like tutoring after school. And so a lot of times we need funds that are unearmarked, that are sort of flexible funds where we can use to fill in these gaps and these needs that we see arise. And so that's what really Giving Tuesday helps us to do. On top of things like paying for like a volunteer coordinator and a program director and you know, translators, and there's just so many different personnel that kind of sort of help. And so basically those flexible funds is what we kind of like use those Giving Tuesday funds for, and it really helps us out.
Oh yeah, I bet I didn't even think about this before, but I bet finding a translator is kind of hard in some cases, and like not all of them are willing to volunteer their time. So I'm sure you have to pay for some unique translators.
Right, because there's so many languages spoken in our program. And they are unique languages at times. And so it's been nice to be able to sort of engage with people in the community. Oftentimes we sort of just come across people, we're like, hey, what, you speak this? Like, hey, you have some time on your hands? Like, that's great, you know?
Yeah.
And so we've one of our founders, Melissa Phillips, she really has like strong connections in the community. So she's been able to build these relationships with people who speak a lot of kind of sort of unique languages. And so it helps to be able to support those people as well, and to have these funds to be able to have translators and, go to school meetings together, talk to parents and things like that. So it's really important.
That makes a lot of sense. And then, of course, having a volunteer coordinator with so many volunteers is like crucial, and that's almost a full-time job, right?
Yes, and she's great because we have so many volunteers, and because our board is sort of unique in the sense that we are overseeing, but we're also like on the ground, we're operational. And so we kind of have our hands full with like lots of different operational and oversight things. So it's great having our coordinator, because she's able to keep in touch with volunteers, make sure they RSVP, make sure their background checks are done. She does all of that communication as well as filtering in like our main email address. And so she's just been awesome. Like, we would not be able to function, and we would be stretched so thin without her. So these funds help us to even have her on board. And so they go a long way.
Yeah, that's amazing. Got so sidetracked with your actual organization. I just love, I love education. So this isn't your first Giving Tuesday campaign. This is your guys's, how many years have you done Giving Tuesday?
This is our third.
Third? Yeah. Okay. How was your first year, and how does that compare to the last few?
Yeah, so I wasn't involved, I believe, in the first one, but it's definitely been like a work in progress, I think. I think this year it's a lot more organized. We've invited more people onto the board, and so we just have more insight, people who have more marketing experience, experience with accounting, and so that has really given us a lot more insight to how we can sort of have a really successful Giving Tuesday this year. In past years, or the past 2 years, I guess, it was a lot more like grassroots, and I think they were successful as well because we have just like an amazing like volunteer and community base who are like so willing to give, and so that was really helpful. But I definitely think like content-wise, organization-wise, this year it's just been kind of coming together a little bit more smoothly. I think the planning stages is definitely starting off with like an open discussion. All the content basically came out of a board meeting where we were just like, what are we going to do for Giving Tuesday? And so we kind of came up with this idea of trying to, because this is our 11th year going in to the organization being run, we wanted to sort of feature our students having grown over the past years. So we kind of, our program director and founder, she wrote these stories about specific students who have been with the program for an extended period of time, and just kind of showing how they've grown and how their relationships with specific tutors who have been with them for years has grown as well.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, so just kind of playing to, what we have going on with our organization already, so that the way that we publicize Giving Tuesday is authentic. It's not like we're trying to like bring our students into the forefront and be like, here's our students, like, now give us money, kind of like, this is what we're doing, this is what we've seen happening with our students and our organization, and that's where we need your support,
Yeah, so storytelling is a huge part of your campaign this year.
Definitely. And so publicizing that has been kind of mostly electronic. We use like newsletters, and our webmaster has created a blog, and that's really bad. He created a blog on our website where we put those stories, and then we also do sort of like the old school too, where we make flyers and we just make announcements, and we try to cover our bases in trying to publicize our stories and our Giving Tuesday.
That's awesome. Yeah, I did see Matt work on your Giving Tuesday page a little bit, and I gave him a little bit of feedback, but it looks really good.
Awesome. Thanks.
I want to go back to something you said about your volunteers. So you said that your volunteers are so giving, and I think it's so interesting. I think we actually wrote an article based on your organization earlier this year, maybe, about how to turn volunteers into donors.
Okay.
And I think it's because, correct me if I'm wrong, but your volunteers actually give to your organization too.
Many of them do, even financially.
Yeah,
many of them do.
Which is, it's interesting because they're giving their time and they're giving money, so they're like double giving, and they are obviously just really committed to what they're doing.
Yes. I think that is where Giving Tuesday and oftentimes just asking for funds like makes an organization feel very vulnerable, because for us, like, our volunteers are time givers, and so we're like, you're already giving basically your most valuable asset, which is your time.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we're saying, hey, we have these needs, like, we need help financially to keep this going, you know. So you have to really make yourself vulnerable in asking for those two things.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that we've really, as an organization, tried to emphasize one, sort of building community with our volunteers, so getting to know them, trying to build relationships with them. Although, you know, at most we usually see them like twice a week, but we try to follow up and, you know, get to know who they are outside of just what we're doing at the school.
Yeah.
Or at the organization, I should say. And so I think that's really helped us to kind of sort of be able to sort of ask for those two things, which are like two of the most potentially valuable things a person could have. And so that relationship is so important, I think, for an organization to build with their volunteers. And yeah, I think that's one of the most important things.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Can I have you stand like
I'm sorry.
much farther over? Sorry.
I'm the shy one that was joking.
Earlier I was like, I don't want to be on camera today. Yeah, so I think one of the things that we did write about on our Give blog, you might not have seen it, but we have email templates, and in them I talk about how to approach your donors when you're doing, or not your donors, your volunteers, when they're already giving to you in different ways. And I think that one of the things your organization probably does really well is asking them just to share what they do and share their stories. And I think that's another way that volunteers can give back other than financially.
Definitely. Yeah, so when we hand out our flyers, we're like, you can keep this or you can give it to someone else. Or we'll give
nice.
And then we'll put stacks out. So we're like, hey, can you pass this out to your coworkers, or can you put this on your Facebook page? Or so just kind of allowing them to spread the news so that we don't have to spread the news as far as well.
Yeah, good. That's a good idea. But the flyers, definitely. I like forget that flyers are a thing because I work online exclusively now. So I like forget that people hand out things.
Yeah.
But it's great. Like, either keep it or pass it forward, give it to somebody else so that they're doing your work for you, spreading the word.
Yeah.
Cool. So we have, let's see, 5 minutes left. Would you like to share anything else about your organization, what you do, Giving Tuesday itself?
Well, I definitely think that for our organization, something that I think has helped us as we became an official nonprofit is sort of seeking commitment from our volunteers. And I know it depends on the organization and what you're doing, but I think for us, because we're really working with students and tutors who come potentially consistently, like once a week or so, I think asking them to sort of build relationship with our students has been really key, and not only a successful sort of tutoring program, but I think for our program itself, where for example, asking for their time and for their funds, or sort of asking them to come out to certain events and things like that, has been made so much easier because we are seeing them more consistently.
Yeah.
So I think that's been really helpful for us as an organization.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when you ask for that commitment, when you get volunteers that want to tutor, are you making sure that they are able to come on a regular basis? How does that work?
Yeah, we do have them RSVP, and obviously we don't, if life happens, so we're not like, really strict on attendance necessarily, but we do ask when we give them their orientation, like, hey, we, this is a really important commitment, and we want to be really upfront and transparent about that with you. So this is going to take up some of your time this school year. Mm-hmm. And so we do have them RSVP when they come in, so we can see that data and like how frequently they come, and if they're missing, we kind of check in. We're like, hey, is everything okay? Are you, can we expect you to work with the student in the future, or should we seek someone else? So we do follow up and kind of send snail mail for thank yous for donors. I'm like, hey, how's it going? I haven't seen you in a while. So we try to check in, and we keep that data through RSVPs. Yeah,
that's really cool. So your whole organization is really, really a community of volunteers.
Definitely. I think that community aspect is really, really important to us, and that idea of like building relationships with not only our students, but our volunteers as well, and making sure that they get the support and they get self-care and they get all of that so that they're not burnt out, is really important to us as an organization.
Oh, that's incredible. I worked for not a tutoring organization, but one that was very volunteer-based, and they did not take care of their volunteers, so there was a lot of turnover.
Yeah, that turnover was really, really difficult for us as well. We experienced that too, so it's been definitely a growing sort of, to get where we are, it's been growth, and it's been a lot of board meetings and open discussions and racking our brains to make it work.
Yeah, I bet. Wow, a lot of coordination involved in San Diego Refugee Tutoring. If you want to go to their Giving Tuesday landing page, it is visible on the screen, but also you can go to sdrefugeetutoring.com// Giving Tuesday 2019, which is now on the screen. Yeah, isn't this cool?
Yeah.
So, for those of you watching, we use a program called Be Live to broadcast our live streams, and it just looks really cool.
Yeah, it really does.
All right. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day. Good luck. Cool. So I believe it is now time for our second swag giveaway. I'm going to put my headphones back on so I can hear. All right. So for those of you just joining or still here but forgot, give swag. We're giving away some give swag. So this time, same game. I'm going to give you some trivia, and you have to find the answer on our website. This time the question is, what did we reveal at WordCamp US this year that was a really big deal? WordCamp US, for those of you who don't know, is the biggest WordCamp, which is a WordPress conference in North America. It's not the biggest one in the world, but it is the second biggest, I think. So we were there at the beginning of November, exactly a month ago, to represent Give, and we sponsored, and we had a couple of speakers there. So if you had support from Ben Meredith at GiveWP, he was actually there talking about how to troubleshoot your own website. And also Ali Nimmons was there talking about how to create a welcoming and diverse space, which is actually something I think a lot of nonprofits could benefit from, because you host events where I think that it was just a great workshop for things like that. The whole point was to make sure that people of diverse backgrounds or with disabilities or any of those types of things are welcome at your event, or feel welcome, even if you don't think about anything that might deter them. So Ben's talk was also great, and we just had a wonderful time at WordCamp US. So head over to GiveWP.com. Roy says happy birthday to Ben. Head over to GiveWP.com and find out what we revealed this year at WordCamp US. It was a pretty big deal, and it's pretty exciting for all of our Give customers. We revealed it at WordCamp US because we wanted some feedback from other developers and some people who have used Give for years on multiple sites. So go find that on our website at GiveWP.com. And I will give you a massive hint. It's in the blog. While you're doing that, I am going to go ahead and talk a little bit about something else we have going on today. One sec, I have to cough. Sorry, guys. While we're doing that, while I'm waiting for your answer, I'm going to talk a little bit about WP and Up. So today we're also participating in another live broadcast, which is actually a Do Good Summit. It is held by WP and Up, which is an organization dedicated to facilitating good mental health in the remote work industry, specifically with WordPress. So a lot of WordPress companies are remotely based and have employees who work alone most of the time. And it's just a really stressful environment sometimes for people who don't have the support of a community. So WP-a provides that online with different in-person events, training, mentorship, and they tackle mental health issues in the WordPress community through health hubs. And they have 4 health hubs where you can work on skill health or business health, physical health, and mental health. So all super important to keep good mental health, but WP-a is a great organization, and they are live right now alongside us on, I think theirs is on Twitter, it might be a few other places, and their online summit today is bringing various for good entities and funds from within the WordPress community to talk about relevant topics and share knowledge. In about, I want to say 30 minutes or so, yeah, about 25 minutes, Allie, Michelle, and Matt are going to be joining them to talk a little bit about what we do in that aspect. So we're going to be having a roundtable discussion on doing good with WordPress and fundraising. So at 11 o'clock Pacific, and I think that is 2 o'clock Eastern, join them on their live broadcast. Oh, Herb found the answer to our trivia question in the watch party, so I didn't get to see it on here, but that counts, totally counts. We are hosting a live watch party right now. It is in our Give community. So our Give community is exclusive. You have to be a Give customer to be in there, but it's all about fundraising. We have advice and tips and tricks about what to do. We have Motivation Mondays and Tip Thursdays. So they're watching live from there right now together. And Herb, thank you so much for that answer. So we revealed GiveWP campaigns at WordCamp US, which for those of you who have seen the back end of Give, when you're building a form, it's very WordPress looking. You're building a post with custom post field information, and it's pretty easy to use, but we're actually upgrading it. And it's going to be different looking. We're going to have different campaign types that you can come out with. So peer-to-peer is one of them. I think we're also having an event type of campaign and a few others. So there's lots of different things you can do with it. And right now we're going to play our new product video, which isn't specifically about campaigns, but it gives you a little bit of a sneak peek of what that's like. So we're going to play that right now. We're back. So that was our new product video. We might have had a little bit of technical difficulties, or I might have had some technical difficulties in the sound there, but hopefully you liked it. Kirkland worked really hard on that. It took quite a while, so give him some props later for that. And WP-a-Thon. I am now going to bring on Lauren from Libero Magazine. It's another mental health community, a little bit different than WP-a-Thon, but not specifically WordPress based. It's an online magazine all about storytelling and kind of building community around support for mental health issues. So here is Lauren.
Hi, Taylor.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. So thank you for joining us again. Lauren was on our GiveWP-a-Thon last year.
Yes, and thanks so much for having me again. I'm so excited to be here.
Of course. First, while we're on the topic of mental health, tell everybody about what Libero does.
Yeah.
I say it wrong every time, too.
Oh, don't worry about it. It was kind of one of those things where when I named it, I didn't think of the pronunciation issues because it seemed intuitive for me. But yeah, it's Libero Magazine. So Libero is the Italian word for free. I have an Italian background. And yeah, so what we do is our focus is on peer support, and it's primarily online. So we have a full online magazine, and there's two components to the magazine. The first component, and the most important one, is that anyone can share their story. We have a project called our Free From Project, and people can say, you know, I am free from fill in the blank. It might be free from depression. It might be free from lies or fear. We've had a bunch of different things that people have used for that, and they can send in their story, explaining, you know, what they've gone through, what they're going through, and how they're now stating that they are free from that. So that's a big component of what we do. And then the other side of the magazine is our day-to-day mental health support. And the articles are all written by volunteers, myself included, and they're all focused, again, on the peer support component of mental health. So people who have gone through or are going through depression, anxiety, eating disorders, other mental health struggles, sharing their own experiences and things that have worked for them, things that have helped or encouraged them, so that others who can relate can benefit from reading that. And then, of course, we use social media as well. So we have a large social media community too.
Yeah, I think I stalk you guys a lot on social media.
Thank you. That's very flattering.
Yeah, I just love what your organization does. It's very similar to WP-a-Thon, but WP-a-Thon is very WordPress based, and what you do is just so broad, and I really like that. And I think my favorite part is the storytelling aspect, because like reading a story that you relate to makes you feel so much better about something you're going through.
Exactly, and that's how Libero started. It's almost been 10 years now, but about 9.5 years ago, all I did was I shared my story on Facebook, just on my profile, and I called it Libero because I wanted it to be free. And the organization literally grew from that moment. I started getting people contacting me, letting me know how much that impacted them. And, you know, over the next few months, I put together a Facebook page. Then I ultimately coded a little HTML website on webs.com. I don't even know if that's still around. And then I had people contact me saying, like, I want to share my story because yours helped me so much. And literally that's how Libero became what it is today, was starting from that grassroots of sharing stories and sharing my own story.
That's amazing. The story, like, I don't know, I'm so blown away by the fact that every organization I've talked to so far is all about storytelling. Like, no matter what they're doing, it's all about the stories.
Yeah, I mean, that's how we relate, I think, as humans, right? Like, it's important to know the facts, and it's important to know the data, but I feel like the emotional connection and that community connection comes from the stories that back that information up.
Yeah, definitely. So tell me about your Giving Tuesday campaign. I know this one's a little bit different than your past campaigns. And we were in contact last week while you were throwing it together.
Yeah, so this year we're doing something completely different. And we don't have a goal at all. We don't have any goal. In the past years, we've always had like a monetary goal. So this year we scrapped the goal, and we're very fortunate because we have 2 fundraisers. We have a mental health month fundraiser in May, and then we have Giving Tuesday. And our mental health month fundraiser went extraordinarily well this year. And we've started a new partnership with a company called Hope Art that makes products that we then sell and split the proceeds 50-50. So between those 2 initiatives, we've actually raised the money we need to keep going in 2020. So when I was looking at our Giving Tuesday campaign, I was thinking, you know, what can we do that's different? Because I'm not going to just say, oh, we need money to keep going, because we have that now. So I scrapped the idea of having a goal, and instead this year, every dollar we raise is going to be reinvested in growing Libero's community. So that means being able to have booths at events related to mental health and wellness, events that are for our target audience. Most of our audience are between 18 and 35. That means attending seminars that will help me learn new and exciting ways to run Libero and grow Libero, and then also promoting our content on social media, because that's where the majority of our community is.
Wow, that's really awesome. I didn't realize, I think when we were talking, that you're expanding in that way. That's really cool. After 10 years, you're able to now grow and use Giving Tuesday to just do something new.
Yeah, and what's super cool about it too is, as I was kind of writing the copy on our site, I came across the wording that Giving Tuesday as an organization gives out to people, and it said like it's a community initiative, like it's a community day of giving. And I thought, you know, that totally makes sense with what we're doing, because really what it's about is as a community coming together to grow and expand our community. And when there's no goal and it's just every dollar goes towards growing it, it's like every dollar will literally help us reach someone new or multiple new people in the new year through different ways. So it's exciting to be able to know that we have secured the funds to continue running, and then it's exciting to know that everything we raise this week, it's running for the full week, is going to help us reach more people with the projects that we're able to continue.
Awesome. So we have talked a little bit about this, but can you highlight more why building a larger community is so important when you're talking about mental health issues?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, for me, the reason that I started Libero and kind of built it as a peer support network was because after I shared my story, I was entering into recovery myself for an eating disorder, and I live with depression and anxiety. And what I found was it was very easy to find information and data about mental health, but it wasn't as easy to find that support element by people who had lived through it. And what I was looking for day to day, because, you know, you go to therapy once or twice a week, and that's amazing. That's so important. But day to day, I wasn't finding that peer support connection that I was looking for. And very often I found that reading the statistics was actually caused more harm than good, because it can be really scary if you live with depression, or if you're recovering from an eating disorder. It can be really scary to learn more about the effects of an eating disorder, right? So yeah. I looked and looked and I couldn't find it. So I said, you know what, this is what I want to do. I want to build a community around this. And I wanted it to be online, because then it's available 24/7. And it's available worldwide. I grew up overseas, so I know what it's like to be way over there when you're from way over there, you know, and like feel disconnected. Well, the internet is amazing because it breaks down most of those types of walls, right? So growing the community is so important to me, because I know the direct impact it had on me. And over the years, that's one thing we're doing this year, is we're sharing a lot of testimonials and quotes from our community. I've seen how much it's impacted the people that have come across us, and the way that the social media climate is ever changing, and the way that the online world is ever changing. It costs money to be able to reach more people when you're online. And that,
especially with how crowded it's getting.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's getting very crowded. So that's why it's so important to grow, so that we can reach more people, so we can spread the word about what we're doing. A lot of people just don't even know that we're here, and then they find us and they're like, where have you been? And I'm like, I've been here. Where have you been? Right? So being able to have the funds to grow the community in this way and spread the word really about what we're doing will also help break through those barriers that are just blocking people from finding out what we are and what we're doing.
Yeah, that's incredible. I love it. And I just had an idea for you.
Yeah.
That I don't know if you've thought about it before, but have you thought about creating an app out of your website? I know that there's actually a plugin that you can do that with.
Yeah, it's actually something that's been on my mind for quite a while. And it's something that we're going to look into in 2020 for sure. I actually know someone who's a programmer, so we might be able to program something that way. And I know about the plugin you're talking about, and I've been meaning to look into it because I think it would be so valuable every time we're launching a podcast next year. So and I do YouTube videos. So my idea is if we have an app, then instead of just articles which show up on the site, it's like every time there's a new article, every time there's a new podcast, every time there's a new video, someone gets the ping on their phone. And I think that would be really powerful. I think it's an excellent idea, and it's something I definitely want to pursue.
Yeah, look into it. I know AppPresser has an integration with Give. So I think we worked with them a little bit last year on that. And what I've seen of it, it's pretty cool. You don't need code, and it transforms what's on your site into an app itself versus like some apps are just website pages like stuck in there. It actually changes it into an app. It's pretty cool.
That's really cool. Yeah, I would love to do that for sure.
Cool. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Lauren, and best of luck with your campaign. I am really excited about it.
Thank you so much for having me, Taylor.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Next up, we have Red Panda Network, which is another return GiveWP-a-Thoner. They might not be here yet. I might be wrong. But in the meantime, I guess I can keep talking about Libero. I always say it wrong. So last year I actually asked her how to say Libero, and I still say it wrong. So I'm sorry, Lauren. In the comments, I see a little bit of chat about that app plugin, which is called AppPresser. And it's pretty easy to use. There are a few different ones out there like that. But AppPresser is a good start. And Roy agrees. So as long as Roy agrees, we're good. I'm going to check on our next participant real quick. Well, I can talk about Red Panda Network. I know a little bit about them. Last year I did interview them, and this year they are advertising their Plant a Red Panda Home for Giving Tuesday. And I believe that donations are doubled today for the Red Panda Network, but I could be wrong on that one. I know that they have various ways to give and different things on their site, like all kinds of different ways to give. You can adopt a panda. You can go on a trip to Nepal, and they're here, so they can tell you all about it.
Hello.
Hey.
Hi. Sorry for being late.
That's okay.
How's it going?
Good. How are you doing today?
Good. Little crazy, Giving Tuesday and everything, but yeah, things are going good.
I bet. So how? First, tell us a little bit about Red Panda Network. I just tried to do my best, but I butchered it.
No problem. Yeah, so we're a international nonprofit that is committed to protecting red pandas and preserving their habitat. We primarily work in Nepal, and we're also beginning to work in Bhutan and have the objective of advancing into other parts of red panda range countries. So yeah, and we've been around since 2007. We are the leader in red panda conservation, and we implement community-based programs in red panda range areas. We work with local people and develop programs that support them and their families while also enhancing stewardship and conserving red panda habitat.
Oh, that's cool. I don't think I knew that part. So you kind of help the local economy too by doing that.
Exactly. Yep. All of our programs have the objective of strengthening the local economy in a sustainable way.
Awesome. That's super important, especially when it comes to conservation. So tell me a little bit about what you're doing for Giving Tuesday today.
So we are promoting our priority project, which is Plant a Red Panda Home. I see you have the campaign page up, which I appreciate. And yeah, so it's a forest restoration project. We've identified around 32 hectares, which is, for anyone who's not aware of what a hectare is, which I wasn't. It's,
I'm not.
Yeah, it's essentially, it's kind of an odd measurement. It's about 2.5 acres. So it's about 60 something acres. And we have identified 32 hectares around that are degraded habitat that are also core red panda habitat areas. So there are areas that are very important to the viability of red panda populations in Nepal. But because of human activity, herding, unsustainable herding practices, deforestation, unsustainable resource extraction, their habitat has been degraded or just completely converted to, agriculture or something else, human residence. And so our focus is to reforest those areas, and so we're fundraising for that project.
Okay, cool. Now, last year we talked a little bit about your anatomically correct red pandas. Do you still have those?
We do, yeah. Actually, they're even better now because we are moving in a direction with our plushes where they are sustainably sourced, and the large plushes are now filled completely with recycled water bottles.
Oh,
So
wow.
they're even nicer, and they are helping to minimize our impact on the environment. So,
Cool.
yeah.
I wondered about that before, but I didn't want to ask.
Yeah, it's something that we've been trying to do for a long time, but believe it or not, it's fairly difficult, or it was fairly difficult to provide that. But now, awesomely, companies are beginning to respond to public outcry, and they are providing sustainably sourced products like plushes. So our goal is to have all of our plushes be sustainably sourced by next year, by 2020.
That's a great goal to have, especially for your organization. I love it.
Thank you.
So this is definitely not your first Giving Tuesday campaign, but could you share with us a little bit about your first one versus the last few, and how this year's going so far?
Absolutely, yeah. So our first one, I believe we really committed to participating in Giving Tuesday in probably 2016, and it was not huge for us, not surprisingly. It seems to take an organization at least a few years to really get momentum on Giving Tuesday. And then last year we had an amazing record-breaking Giving Tuesday. We doubled the previous year's donations, and it was incredible. We had our first big matching campaign, which we've bolstered this year. We now have an entire challenge drive where we work with some of our foundation and zoo partners in matching individual donations on Giving Tuesday. So that's what we're doing this year, and so far it's going really well. We launched the challenge drive on November 1st, and we are about halfway to our goal. Hopefully after today we'll be even closer, and yeah, it's going really good.
Awesome. Yeah. So you're halfway and you started November 1st. Does your campaign end today?
It does not. No, our campaign technically goes to the end of the year. Okay,
cool. So if you want to give to Red Panda Network, it is redpandanetwork.org with a lot of backslashes. Can we get that on the screen? Redpandanetwork.org with their homepage has donation buttons everywhere, but go find their Giving Tuesday campaign. We're going to get that link up on the screen in just a second. How did you go about planning this differently this year than you have in past years, or has your planning process kind of stayed the same?
Yeah, it kind of evolves every year. It seems like we kind of learn from the previous year's campaign. I feel like organizations these days have to be adaptive, and we're trying to do that. This year, the emphasis has really been our challenge drive, and we have an amazing group of zoo partners who are very generous, and so we're able to kind of use that to strengthen individual contributions, which has just been huge for us. It's been a game changer, and yeah, it's an amazing holistic situation where we're being supported by zoos as well as individuals, and collectively it's done great things for us, and it's helping us make a huge impact in Nepal for red pandas. And
so this is the first, yeah, definitely. So this is the first year that you've had zoos partner with you?
No, we've had zoo partners for a long time, but our partner base is growing, and also, a lot of zoos are wanting to be more involved, and so it's allowed us to, sort of move up to the next level of fundraising with a challenge drive.
Okay, cool. How many zoos do you have partnered with you, and are you able to share which ones?
Yeah, we have a partners page, and actually at the bottom of that screen, that the Plant a Red Panda Home campaign page that you have right there, we have we call them our first panda challengers, and the name actually comes from, I don't know if you're aware of this or if anyone listening is aware of this, but red pandas were actually discovered 50 years before giant pandas, and so they're actually the first pandas, and so we call our zoo and foundation partners who are matching gifts our first panda challengers. And so those are, and we actually have had a few more who've signed on that we haven't gotten up on the page yet, but we will probably by the end of today or tomorrow. And yeah, so those are, and then we also have more partners on our partners page, which is under Get Involved, I believe.
Wow, that is a lot of zoos. That's really cool. I hate to ask this, is the San Diego Zoo one of them?
Yep. Yeah, San Diego Zoo is, they are a generous supporter of Red Panda Network. One of our board members who was the board chair for a very long time is a director at the San Diego Zoo, and they're not a first panda challenger this year, but they support another very important project in Nepal, which we're really grateful for.
Cool. I was just curious because I'm from San Diego, so I like to know.
Yeah. San Diego Zoo. That's an amazing zoo.
Cool. I honestly think I've only been there once, which is kind of sad because I've lived in San Diego my whole life, but it took me until I was 17 and I still haven't been back.
That's how it goes. Yeah, I've only been to the Portland Zoo a couple times, and it's only 2 hours from here. So, but
Mine's like 15 minutes.
Portland Zoo actually just got their second red panda, and they just got their first red panda last year. So, pretty exciting.
Wow.
Yeah,
that is exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, cool. So we have 2 more minutes. Do you have anything else you'd like to share with our audience about your campaign or about your organization?
Yeah, check out our website and check out our Giving Tuesday page. We're really excited about this Plant a Red Panda Home project. It's really important to, ensure a viable population of red pandas in Nepal, which is part of the range that is very decimated by human activity and is very vulnerable to extinction.
Nepal, that area of Nepal is a very touristed area, isn't it? Or am I just thinking of crazy people like me who like to go to weird places?
No, there's a part of eastern Nepal where it's very heavily visited. It's a pilgrimage location. I don't want to misinform anyone with my limited knowledge, but there is a part. It's near the Singali Range in India, it's right on the border of Nepal and India. We more work in remote areas that isn't heavily touristed, and we actually do offer an eco trip program as well to so people can actually come out and see red pandas in the wild. Our last eco trip, which just ended a couple days ago, they had 10 separate red panda sightings, which is a record.
That is so cool.
Which is an indicator of the impact of our work, that more red pandas are in this area because local people are committing to protecting them. And so, it's a huge testament to our supporters and the impact they've made with their contributions and everything. So, yeah.
That's really cool. Side note, I did just discover those eco tours like yesterday, and I was really excited about them, and I might sign up for one next year if I can.
Please do. We'd love to have you. It's an amazing. I went in 2016 and saw a 10-month-old red panda up in the Himalayas. It was magical.
That's amazing. I've been to a different part of the Himalayas as they call them in India.
Oh, very cool. Nice.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck with the rest of your campaign.
Yeah, thanks so much, Taylor. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Next up on our GiveWP-a-Thon, we have Eat Real, which is a California-based organization that is dedicated to helping kids learn to eat and like real food, because real food is better for you. So they're going to join us right now. Hi, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
No problem. Tell me a little bit about what you do with Eat Real and what your organization does.
Yeah, so I'm Nora Latore, and I lead our team at Eat Real. We're based in Oakland, and Eat Real is a nonprofit that's trying to help kids learn to love real food for the well-being of our kids and our planet. And so what we do is we help leading school districts and school district leaders transform their food programs so that they're delicious, healthy, and nutritious. And so it's really all about increasing kids' access to real food, exposure to real food, so that they can thrive and be happier and be healthier and perform better at school and have longer and happier lives.
Cool, yeah, and it's really important, I think, often overlooked. So I'm really excited to have you here today.
Yeah, there are over 97,000 public schools, just public schools. So if you think about it, schools are in every single town and community. And so if we can make that food delicious and kids eat their at least 5 days a week, one, maybe more meals. And so if we can make that food amazing for our kids, then we really transform their health.
Yeah, that would be the key. I think when I was in school, we had like fake cardboard tasting pizzas and some very unhealthy options.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And I just had a daughter, so I got really personally concerned about what am I feeding her? What am I going to feed her? What is she going to eat when she's at school? And so that's actually why I joined the nonprofit and why I personally got involved too.
Oh,
like,
that's cool.
That's what I ate, and then really worried about, well, what's my daughter going to eat?
Yeah, I imagine if I had a daughter, I'd probably watch what I eat a lot more than I do.
Oh yeah, for me, with like getting pregnant, I was like, wait, what am I putting in my body and giving to her? How do I nourish her early on? And so, and now that she's here, thinking about how do I feed her rainbow colored foods, all different foods, give her lots of exposure and variety, and trying to improve the food at school so that when she's ready to go to school, she's fueled by delicious, good food.
That's some dedication. So tell me about your Giving Tuesday campaign.
Yeah, so we're super stoked to be involved with Giving Tuesday campaign. I'm really grateful to be having this conversation with you. Our Giving Tuesday campaign launched a couple weeks ago, and it was really about engaging our current community and finding new supporters who want to get involved. And what we love about Giving Tuesday is it's a really special time of year when people are really generous and are thinking about how do they make an impact at the end of the year and start the new year off in a really positive way. And so it's a way for us to send communication out to our current network and then start the conversation with new folks as well. And so we think it's one of our favorite times of year for sure.
That's awesome. So do you have a specific goal for Giving Tuesday, or are you
So today we're working with about 269 schools, 134,000 students, which we're super happy that those schools are participating in our program and are really transforming their food. And so our Giving Tuesday goal is to raise money that directly supports us reaching more schools and more students. So we're trying to add at least 37 more schools and 166,000 more students. And so every dollar that we get from Giving Tuesday is going to go towards our work supporting those new schools and getting them involved and getting them their food programs, helping them transform their food programs to be healthier and more sustainable. And so that's what our Giving Tuesday goal is about, getting more schools involved.
More schools. Are all of the schools in California, or are they like nationwide?
Yeah, and so no, they're not all in California. They're mostly in California. We're a Bay Area, as I said, nonprofit, and so we're heavily focused on California, and we work a lot in our backyard. We also are a national nonprofit, and so we are working with a couple other leading school districts. So we partner with Boulder Valley, who's shaking things up in school food, and also Minneapolis Public Schools, not just because I'm from Minnesota, but because they are an amazing school district that is really transforming their food program and has already done a lot. So both Boulder and Minneapolis are in the program. They're leaders in the healthy school food movement, and we're really excited that they're in our program and helping us shape it so that we can then start to work in other regions as well.
That's really awesome. I would hope that more schools would want to get involved. So anybody viewing, anybody watching, if you know anybody in a school district, send them to Eat Real and have them transform their food program.
Yeah, they can actually email me and I'll connect them with our team. It's nora@eatreal.org.
Perfect. Cool.
And it's actually a lot of individuals that care, that are getting their school food service directors involved, and school food service directors who are reaching out as well that want to participate. So this is definitely a movement that's going to be led by students, parents, community members, the school leaders themselves, and so everyone is getting involved in different ways.
Yeah, it's all about the demand. People who want it to happen need to make it happen. I actually think we have a team member who used to be part of a school board in New York. She might have some connections, so I'll send her your way.
Yeah, New York public schools are doing some amazing things. There are a lot of bright spots in this movement, and change is happening and change is underway. We're really excited about it. It can be the best, most nutritious meal of the day for our kids, and for some kids, it's over 50% of their calories. And so we really, our campaign and our language that we use for this Giving Tuesday campaign which is different than last year, is all about how school food should be brain food. So let's make that happen.
Yeah, that's important. We even talk about it in the office here. Sometimes we'll go out to lunch and get something that's just terrible for you, and then come back and like be completely unproductive because it's just not energizing.
Right? That 3 p.m. slump. I know. It's, yeah. I mean, my diet has really changed since joining this nonprofit. Like, real food does make me feel so much better, and helps me, you know, be a better team member, be a better mom, be a better community member. I like I mean, real food and nutrition in general is such a personal choice and personal journey. And so we're all about just helping people and teams feel good by what they eat. So yeah, it's so interesting how you can sense a difference at, 10 minutes after you eat something. You can feel better, or you can feel a little groggy.
Yeah. It can make a huge difference in your day. Yeah. I actually want to take a closer look at your page while we're on here, because I was so excited to see somebody use our template.
We loved it. It was so easy and amazing.
Oh, good. Yeah. So I'm going to have Kirkland scroll through this real quick. They used our Elementor template. So we were talking a little bit earlier about how Allie created a template, and it was really cool. They used it, and I think it looks great on their website. So,
yay. So that's our new website that we just launched. Our nonprofit has been around for 7 years, but now we're 100% focused on our work in schools, because we're so excited about about schools as the ability to drive impact for the next generation. And actually, Sarah on our team redesigned the website, which you're pulled up right now, and she was really the one who was like, we need to use this plugin and Elementor. This Giving Tuesday is amazing. She's right here. I just want to show you Sarah.
Hey.
Hi, Sarah.
Thanks for having us.
So
yeah, no problem.
And I will say that template made our Giving Tuesday campaign so easy. Getting that email, and we're like, because we were still trying to figure out how to present it, how we were going to build it out on the website, and that tool, I think, has helped make it really successful. So definitely.
That's so good to hear. That's what we're here for.
Sarah actually hosted a hackathon for us here, and so we actually busted out all the language together and designed it, and she made some quick updates on the fly. She just really rocked it, and this template made it just so turnkey for us.
That's so cool. You did a hackathon for your site. I love it. We're involved in a few hackathons here and there, and I really want to host one. It's like my goal, but they're hard to put together.
We did it just for our team, so it was scrappy, but it was so much fun, and we have our shared work office, and we just made it happen, and it made it so fast and easy. So thank you.
That's cool. I love hearing that. And that's, I think, one of the biggest benefits of WordPress is that you can find those tools from multiple different companies, templates and easy to use plugins. But the templates are really the things that save people the most time, and the page builders. So cool.
Sarah and I are nodding our heads. Yep, 100%.
So I actually think I went to school up in the Bay Area, kind of like in the Valley, and I think I've actually heard of your organization, back in the day when it was new.
Yeah.
Is this your first Giving Tuesday campaign, or have you done it in the past, and how has that been different?
It's my first Giving Tuesday campaign with the organization, because I joined in April, but Sarah and the team led a campaign last year. So it's our organization and our nonprofit's second Giving Tuesday. Okay,
cool. If you know anything about how it last year went, how does your first year versus your second year compare?
Sarah shared a little bit with me and her turn in too. I think this year, the new website that Sarah built, that she taught herself partly on YouTube how to do. She's just amazing. So Sarah, that website that she built, and then this plugin really made this year so much easier for us. So we were able to, like I said, quickly create a campaign and get it out and share it with our networks. And so we were really, really happy about that. And it was definitely, so it was faster this year. And it was easier this year. And we're seeing incredible engagement. We had a ton of learnings last year, and Sarah and the team were really able to look at that, look at those analytics, understand what works, understand what language, what components we should copy, but then and use that as a baseline, but then really use the new website and this plugin as a way to make this year's even easier and more successful.
Awesome. I love hearing that you looked at analytics because I do that. And I think it is something people overlook, maybe because they don't know how to find them or set them up. But I don't know if you have our Google Analytics add-on, you can get even more insights with our Google Analytics add-on for Give, so you can know like where your donors came from and how they converted.
Yeah, Sarah's on it. She's like, yep, we got it. Check.
Oh yeah, no, we're all big. I mean, our team is, every decision we make is so data driven as we're building parts out, and using that Google Analytics tool helps us create even more successful content, being able to see what's worked, what hasn't, what people are more responsive to, and the best way to even design every aspect of not just, social media posts, but also our website posts, our website donation, different campaigns. So it's been an incredible tool.
Cool. Yeah, that is so good to hear. I don't think I've actually been able to talk to anybody about how they use Google Analytics with Give before, and that makes me excited because I spend like half my day in Google Analytics.
Sarah's on it. If you ever want to go deep on that, she's got it. So she teaches all of us about it as well.
I might actually end up asking you for a case study later on.
For sure.
Definitely. Yeah, we'll connect later.
Cool. Thank you. All right, we have about a minute left. Is there anything else you want to share about your organization or your campaign?
Yeah, it's just a little bit about the Eat Real program. So we're a nonprofit, and we're actually a third-party certification. So we go into the school districts, we partner with the leaders, and we actually, with the registered dietitian and our science-based standards that cover nutrition and sustainability, we assess the school and help them understand what's really working, where are they having a lot of positive impact on their food, what is sustainable, what is nutritious, and then what are some areas of opportunity. And then we help create an action plan with them, and then they make changes, and then they get certified. And then they actually get the Eat Real certified logo and that seal of approval that shows to their communities, their students, the parents, that this is a school district that's making changes and transforming their food. And so it's a really powerful certification program and a trust mark. And we're super grateful for the 269 schools that are participating now. And we're really excited to get more schools and communities involved. So we are so grateful for Giving Tuesday and the donations that we're seeing that are going to directly support us getting more schools, and also just really grateful to get the word out about the nonprofit and get more people to get their schools involved.
Cool. Yeah, I love your organization, and it's so important to get kids to eat right. So it's awesome that you can certify schools for that. And anybody watching, if you want your school district to have better food, you want your kids' school to have better food, figure out how they can contact Eat Real, find the right person, and get them in contact.
Eatreal.org.
Eatreal.org. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye. Thank you.
Have a good day. Happy Giving Tuesday.
Happy Giving Tuesday. All right, so we're going to do our next giveaway now, and this one is a little bit different. So right now, this giveaway is more swag, same swag bag. You're going to get a shirt, a tote, a cup, a pint glass, a mug, some stickers, all the things. And for this giveaway, what you have to do is you have to like our Facebook page or our Twitter page, and then post about Give. So you can either share our page itself, or you can share this live stream if you would like, and then post a link in the comments here. And you have until the end of the broadcast to do that, so don't worry about that. Get on it while we're interviewing other people and during this next video interview, and just enter to win our swag giveaway. So how you win that swag is like the page or follow the page, depending on what you're on. So Twitter or Facebook, and then share either GiveWP the page or this broadcast, and then post a link in the comments so that we see that you did it. And at the end, we'll pick one random person to win that. Watch party included. So if you're in the watch party, we're going to look there too. Don't worry. Just post your comments. And then also, once again, I do see that there is, oh, how do I say this? Shawnee Indian Grinding Rock Association entered our Plus Plan giveaway. So anybody else who wants to mention that organization, please do. We also have ShelterBox Canada entered multiple times. So to beat them, you're going to have to get a lot of people on here tagging your organization. So if you want to win the Plus Plan for GiveWP, make sure you also get people on here tagging your organization throughout the end of this broadcast. And at the end, I will give away both the Plus Plan and our Give Swag. So don't forget to like, share, and post. Up next, I actually have a recorded interview from one of our other participants who couldn't be here today, which is Friendship International and or Friends International. I think I might have just said their name wrong. I'm sorry. It's Friends International, and they're based in Cambodia, so they weren't able to be here today because it's a big time difference. But they did send in a recorded video for us to play, so we're going to play that right now for you.
So we're working in Cambodia, Thailand, Laos, and Indonesia. So for this Giving Tuesday campaign, we decided to focus on mothers because we think that mothers are raising the next generation, and it's also a nice link with women empowerment, which is a hot topic at the moment. So our campaign is going to be called Dreams by Moms, and it will allow us to show all the aspects of our work through the eyes and dreams of mothers. So it's going to be mothers that we support, so our beneficiaries, but also mothers who support other mothers, so our staff. So our goal for this campaign is to raise $50,000, $3,000 more than last year, because we already participated in Giving Tuesday last year. But also to raise awareness about our work and broaden our reach. We have built some partnerships with Instagram influencers who are moms to get them to help share our campaign and also share their own dreams. And we also built some partnerships with local partners in Cambodia. So we're really hoping to target and to reach a new audience than our regular supporters. What has been really useful from Give for this campaign is the tribute add-on, because it allows us to suggest donors to make a gift in honor of a mom they love. So we were really thinking that it would be compelling and it would trigger emotion, so people can actually make a gift while telling their mom or another mom that they love her. So yeah, I think that's it. Thank you very much.
Lifewater.org.
Okay, hi everybody. So that was Maureen from Friends International, and they, I just totally blanked because I was totally focused on technical things. But Friends International is doing a mom supporting campaign this year. So they want to make sure that moms are able to achieve their dreams of basically giving their families a good life. And their campaign has a beautiful landing page as well, where you can choose to support a child's education, give skills to youth and moms, empower moms to become independent, or transform dreams into futures. I think that Maureen highlighted a lot about the organization that does good, but if you go to their website, friends-international.org, you can see a little bit more about the work that they do. Oh, we got it up here. Yeah, so their landing page for Giving Tuesday is all about moms and transforming their lives. So if you want to support a mother, please do at Friends International. You can go to their website to find this campaign. I am about 5 minutes early on my timing, so I think I'm going to talk a little bit more about WP business reviews. So we did talk about this a little bit earlier, but the WP business reviews license that we're giving away to our participants today is really important because you know, we talk a lot about business reviews or online reviews as business reviews. And we don't think about nonprofits as something that needs social proof very often, but it's very true that it does. And reviews are another way to get storytelling out there and to find out how an organization actually works on the ground. So if you haven't heard of WP Business Reviews and you have a nonprofit that could benefit from displaying your reviews on your website, check it out. We're giving away all of our participants a license for WP Business Reviews because we think it's just super important to have on your donation pages, especially. And with that, you can you can integrate your Facebook reviews, your Google reviews, Yelp, and many, many more. So we even just added Trustpilot, and we're looking at adding more platforms in the future. So that is need-based and demand-based. So the more nonprofits who use our platform and request other platforms, the more we'll add. So check it out. And if you don't even use WP Business Reviews to display reviews on your website, just display testimonials and stories and make sure that you're telling your story, what your organization does and who it helps and how people have volunteered and given their time and money and energy. Those types of things really compel donors to give, especially on days like Giving Tuesday when you're competing with literally the entire world for donations. Give yourself a leg up with that. Excuse me, sorry. And let's see. I'm going to see if maybe we're lucky and my next guest is here early. They're not. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about our swag giveaway. Guys, invite your friends, your volunteers, your donors, your staff members. It's Giving Tuesday, so get on social media and talk about coming to this live broadcast and tagging your favorite organization. Invite people to come so that they can win this Plus plan. Right now it's going to ShelterBox Canada, which is awesome. I think that they definitely deserve to win it. But let's give them a little bit of competition, maybe. Get more people in here. Tag your favorite org. And then also don't forget about our last swag giveaway. So I don't know if you know, but these Give t-shirts are like the softest thing ever. This one's wrinkled because it was in a bag, but they're really soft. And I have like 4. Don't tell anybody. You know you want one. Go to our Facebook page and like it, or go to our Twitter page and follow it, and then share either or this live stream and then comment with the link to your post. And at this point, I think maybe the first person to do it might win. We'll see. But I'll pick a random person in the end, and anybody watching in our community channel viewing party, you also will have a chance to win if you comment there. So don't worry. I'll check both places to find that comment and pick a winner. Like our Facebook page or follow our Twitter page, share it or share this broadcast, and then post the link here. And you're going to win some awesome swag. Like our one-sided give mugs, you have to use left-handed, but they're really cool. Oh, come on, guys. I need some people to start entering this contest. I want to give away some give swag today. It's my favorite kind of swag, so it should be yours too. That's my opinion. All right. Well, I am waiting for our next guest, and I don't see them yet. But we're going to take a quick intermission because this is a super long broadcast, and we have about 25 minutes left. So I will be back in just a minute or two. All right, sorry about that, you guys. So it looks like, or you all, sorry, trying to break that habit. It looks like our next organization is busy with their Giving Tuesday campaign. So it was Care of Algae, and what they do is create sustainable products with algae. And a little bit sad, I wanted to learn more about that. But next up, we have Norwescap. I do not know how to actually say that. But we have Greg Taylor from that organization joining us very soon. And they help Northwest New Jersey. Yes, underprivileged families in Northwest New Jersey. So while we're waiting for him, I will talk a little bit about Care of Algae. I know that they have the Giving Tuesday campaign going on today with a pretty cool landing page. And I think that if I remember right, it's just for their general fund, but their landing page is Giving Tuesday specific, and they shared quite a bit about what the organization does with their audience for today. Yeah. So Care of Algae's Giving Tuesday page is coming soon to you in the comments. Oh. Or Google them. Next up, we have Greg Taylor from Norwescap. So this is our last organization of the day, and if Care of Algae ends up coming late, I'll bring them back in. But we have Greg Taylor coming on right now, and yeah.
Hey, Taylor, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Good. Can't complain.
Long time no recording.
I know. I feel like we just did this like last week or a week ago, 2 weeks ago, something like that, right?
We did. So to our viewers, oh, actually, I wish I had that link handy, but we recorded a podcast last week or the week before about content writing and Giving Tuesday for Greg's marketing agency. So yeah, and we talked all about Giving Tuesday on it as well.
Yeah, it was excellent. Definitely our audience appreciated all of your insights. So thank you for giving us their time.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like I lost the link. I had it handy earlier today, but I don't see it in front of me, so I'm not going to go digging for it. But we'll post that later in the comments if anybody wants to check it out. So tell me how to say Norwescap.
Norwescap, exactly.
Norwescap.
It's not cleverly spelled. It's not a clever name. It is what it is. It's exactly how it sounds.
No, I like it. I just I feel like I mispronounce things a lot. So so tell me about what the organization does. I read about it online, but for our viewers.
Sure. So what Norwescap does is Norwescap serves the underprivileged and the underserved communities of Northwest New Jersey. So that means a lot of things to a lot of different people. It could be, helping a family pay rent for the month. It could be helping single mothers or people below the poverty line would help with child care. It could also, some instances, it's just, hey, can you guys help me keep the heat on this month? Here in New Jersey, we were hit with our first winter storm yesterday. So, heating is essential. And then a lot of it is, how do we take people and get them out of the cycle of poverty? How do we go ahead and take them from giving them assistance to helping them better themselves and better their situations through either maybe different financial literacy or other educational opportunities? I think I lost your volume.
I had myself muted.
Gotcha. Okay.
There's always one time in every broadcast that I do that. So I don't think I've had any other organization like yours on today. But last year we did have one called the City Mission that does something similar, not quite the same, in a different town, and we talked about them on our broadcast too.
Right.
But I love organizations like this, giving back to your community and helping those families in that area. Tell me more about your Giving Tuesday campaign. Now, when I talked to you, you sent me a lot of different links and landing pages. So I'd love to hear about how you target different people.
Yeah, so, we worked with their donor CRM that they already have, which they use Donor Perfect for a lot of the other stuff, a lot of the offline donation campaigns. So we were able to go in there and say, okay, out of your donor base, what are some different donor profiles? So we were able to identify 3 or 4 different donor profiles, whether they're corporations that are in town, whether they're individuals. Sometimes it came from board members. Sometimes it came from people who needed help, who we could cross-reference through the website. So what we're able to do is figure out what the profile looks like, what things are important to them, and what messaging resonates best with them. And then also to go ahead and when we make the ask, it's just to see what the average donation was. An average individual donation is very, very different than an average corporate donation. So why should we treat them the same? So what we were able to do is we created a different landing page for each different donor profile, and using GiveWP, we were able to use different donation forms with suggested donation amounts that fits within that donor profile.
I saw that actually, and I was wondering about that because I think I saw on one you had like 250, 500, and 1,000 or something, and I was like, wow. And then I realized I was on the corporate page, so
exactly,
not for an individual.
No, exactly, and that's exactly what it was. And strategically, we had a little bit of crossover here between Giving Tuesday and their annual appeal. Their annual appeal goes out in 2.5 weeks. But they still wanted to do something for Giving Tuesday. So what we wanted to do is collect some money for our Giving Tuesday, but we're really trying to use our Giving Tuesday campaign to build awareness for the annual appeal. So we can say, you can either help us out, for the Giving Tuesday ask, or we can use it for the annual appeal. So we're going to use a lot of the same strategy, and for each campaign.
Okay, cool. So about how many campaigns do you think, or how many campaigns per year does Norwescap do?
So what they basically do is they do 2 or 3 big ones. The annual appeal is always the big one. They do a capital campaign somewhere beginning of the summer, and some of the capital campaign raises money for children, to go to camp, et cetera, et cetera. And then in early fall, they do a food drive. So there's 2 or 3, but, like any nonprofit, there's tons of moving parts and tons of other departments with all their own smaller initiatives. And they go ahead and do their own asks. So what we're trying to do is just streamline things using, the Norwescap.org site and GiveWP is sort of streamline everything so that we can curate different donors, online versus the offline world. And how do we go ahead and nurture a donor? I think the big thing is, what I would love to see is people who donated $50 this campaign. How do we go ahead and move them along the continuum to make them a larger donor, or even a legacy donor, at the end of their involvement with Norwescap?
Yeah, I think following up on campaigns is super important, and keeping people in your community that you capture on Giving Tuesday, especially, or with any big campaign, is a struggle. And it's all about the follow-up. So do you have any insight on that and how you plan on following up to do that?
Yeah, so what we want to do is, we want to go ahead and first off, thank them for their involvement, thank them for their donation. Now, since Giving Tuesday is so close to the annual appeal, we're also asking for donations of other kinds. We're not just, social media is so flooded with Giving Tuesday messages, so what we wanted to do, we wanted to say, hey, instead of, making a $5 donation, can you share this post to your audience? Can you go ahead and maybe schedule some volunteer hours? How do we go ahead and do that? So what we want to do is we want to recognize the people for whatever they did, because whatever they did, donate time, money, or posts, that's extremely valuable to our cause. From there, what we can do is assess what they've done, again, move them through the continuum of maybe they go into a different donor profile, you know, and how do we go ahead and message them in a manner continuously where we're not always asking, where we're educating, where we have a cycle of, you know, educate, let them know why it's important, let them know who we're helping, let them know what we've done with the money that has been raised previously, and then go ahead and make a greater ask at another time. I think that a lot of times, a lot of nonprofits suffer from donor fatigue, where they're always asking. And I don't think that we do a good enough job to educate and let them know where their dollars go and the impact that they actually have. Because that's actually a big part of the story. Now you're taking the donor and you're bringing them into the nonprofit story. How do you connect those two worlds?
Yeah, put them there and make them feel like they're actually doing something, and tell them what they're doing themselves with their dollars.
Exactly. You know, we figured out that, you know, on average, it costs $130 a month to heat a house in Northwest New Jersey. On average, a family of 4 spends $300 a month in groceries. You know, now we can start putting some numbers and some value to their donations and say, you know, your $500 donation paid for 5 months worth of heat for this heat or electricity for this family, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, that's important. And I want to go back to something else you said too about asking people to give by sharing. So I think we often overlook the fact that a social media post is kind of a donation because you're asking somebody else to give, and that is itself a way to give. I know that Allie Nimmons, one of our support techs and content people, she recently did a giveaway with Wapu earrings and wanted to get more donors. And I shared that I donated, and like 10 people donated that day because they saw my post.
Right.
So you never know what social proof will do. Even if you didn't give, just sharing that you like this organization for Giving Tuesday.
Yeah, and you know, we come across a lot of people, you know, through our website who are asking for assistance, you know, through the Norwescap.org site, who are asking for help with the heat, asking for help with car repairs, et cetera, et cetera. So what we want to do is involve them in the Giving Tuesday campaign, where we have a specific ask for them, whoever asked us for help. What we end up doing is we just ask them to volunteer hours, or can you donate your social media? Can you donate posts? Because you never know who that's going to reach. And it's you know, it's the megaphone effect. Because then, you know, a nonprofit reaches so many people, but then their constituents go ahead and amplify and magnify that number, you know, tremendously.
Yeah, definitely. Social proof is huge, and it's something I write about like almost daily on our WP Business Reviews blog. Almost daily. We don't publish that much, but I write about it a lot. And I really think with nonprofits, social proof is overlooked so much. We talk all about storytelling and sharing your impact, but what about the social proof?
Yeah, so, you know, when it comes to storytelling for brands or for nonprofits, you know, I think that there's always more than one story being told. You know, there's always more than one narrative at once. So there's the internal story that's being told, all the good that, you know, we do for the world. There's the donor story saying why we wanted to go ahead and donate our posts, dollars, or time. There's the recipient story. And then there's another one. There's a community story where we can tap into. And I think that what happens is it's really, really important for us to talk to the people that we do help and the people that we serve, and allow them to tell their own personal story and let them own the story as much as they're comfortable with, of course, but let them own the story to go ahead and engage other people who are just like them. You know, if you are a CFO or president of a bank, you know, you probably don't somebody who's in need help for heat and electricity probably does not think that they have that much in common with that person. But somebody else who's looking for help for a car repair has a whole lot in common with somebody who's looking for help with electricity bills or utilities, et cetera, et cetera. So we can go ahead and, you know, let people tell the story in their own voice and let that connect with more like people so that the organization can serve more.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's almost what Giving Tuesday was like founded on. Because I think it even just started as a social media movement. It wasn't really a organization until it became an organization.
Right.
Which is kind of weird to say, but it makes sense.
But so many good ideas are, they started as a great idea, and it gets traction, and then it's like, okay, how do we go ahead and take our great idea and give it to the world for the greater good of everybody? And that's sort of the way that I view, Giving Tuesday. This is this is my company, Trinity Web Media's, third or fourth big campaign that we've done for Giving Tuesdays. So, Norwescap, so far, our campaign has raised just shy of $3,500 today, which is amazing, which is going to go ahead and help a whole lot of people in Northwest New Jersey, and the underserved communities.
Yeah, and $3,500 in a day is a lot for an organization like that. It's I think we see all these huge numbers on Giving Tuesday because we see so many publicized giant organizations raising so much money, but for a smaller organization or a regional organization, that is a lot of money, and every dollar counts. And I think that it's really awesome that you've been able to raise so much today.
Yeah, and every dollar does count. And thanks to, we love working with the GiveWP system. We've seen a lot of recurring donations now. So where they're going ahead and making, contributions of $25 a month, which is really exciting because those are the people that we really have a chance of bringing them into the fold. Those are, potentially future board members or potentially future, legacy donors, et cetera, because those are the people who are highly engaged with the organization. And those individuals, are somebody that we can definitely bring down the continuum a little bit quicker than others.
Yeah, and they're who you can build a community with, and they're who will share your page and give you more social proof and talk about you. They almost become like brand ambassadors in the end.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. And if you don't know what a brand ambassador is, I just realized I used a jargony term. But brand ambassador is, for our viewers, a brand ambassador is somebody who represents a brand but doesn't get paid by them necessarily. So for nonprofits, it's a huge tool to use.
Yeah. You can think of it as a CrossFitter for a nonprofit. Somebody who does CrossFit loves talking about CrossFit. A brand ambassador loves talking about whatever brand they're involved with or nonprofit.
That's for sure. I would say that all WP employees are brand ambassadors.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, you guys do a great job of being one cohesive unit and, really supporting the community. So I love the fact that, you guys are doing this, your systems and everything make it easier for us to do our job. Without you guys, honestly, my job would be so much harder for doing the marketing and doing the email templates and doing the e-blast and doing the social media and developing out custom forms for, et cetera, and capturing all that information. And then the stripes, and then the stripe stuff, and then so it's like GiveWP definitely makes it easier, and
thank you.
It's awesome. We love supporting you guys.
We appreciate that. I just remembered that you used our email templates too, so I was wondering how that went.
I did. So I used the save the date email template, and I used the verbiage. I tweaked it so it resonated with our different audiences. And we got a huge open rate. We had a huge click-through rate. So big open rate for us was probably about, I think it was 34%. Our click-through rate was about 18%. Clicking on links to see what is Giving Tuesday. And we use that as just an educational platform. This is the first time Norwescap has participated on this scale as Giving Tuesday. So we wanted to put some strategy, behind it. And definitely, the guides and the templates and the emails that you guys already say, the suggested ones that you put out there and publish are fantastic and are a great resource for anybody.
Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, that's my baby, and I worked really hard on it, so that makes me super happy.
Yes.
My first initiative when I first started at Give was to make sure we had a strong Giving Tuesday strategy, which meant all the content.
Right.
So.
Definitely a large task that you pulled off perfectly.
Thanks. So. My secret, I'm actually going to share this at a WordCamp in the future, but my secret to creating a 75-page workbook was to do a series of blog posts the previous year and then edit them, combine them, expand on them into an actual workbook. So
yeah, it's amazing how, it's amazing how traction starts with one piece, and then you have 2 pieces, and then 2 pieces become 5, and then you keep going and you figure out how they all work together. And once you figure out how to make it cohesive, now you have this big library of content and this big archive that people can go ahead and use for resources. So that's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. And I'm happy to hear from people who use them all the time, because it just makes me feel like I'm not just putting stuff out there to put it out there.
Right. And as a resource, it worked. It definitely worked. It's awesome. I mean, there's a lot of other stuff out there, but I found that yours was, I don't know, just the easiest to go through, and it made the most sense.
Thank you. Oh, yes. I feel great about that. All right, well, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us. Do you have anything else you want to share about Norwescap before we go?
No, Norwescap is a small organization that's been around since 1965. And, again, they serve the underprivileged and the impoverished in Northwest New Jersey. It's a great organization. My favorite part about them is because they help transition them out of poverty. And I don't think that enough organizations who work with the poor or the homeless really, really concentrate on that transition phase. So that's why our Trinity Web Media and me, my partner, and the executive team over there were super excited to partner with one another. So
yeah, that's awesome. And it's great, to build those partnerships.
Yeah, without a doubt. And at the end of the day, if we can go ahead and we can help somebody out by our skills or what we know or who we know and how we can do it, why wouldn't we? Why shouldn't we? So
cool. Yeah, definitely. All right. Thanks so much for joining us, Greg.
No problem. Thanks for having me, and I will talk to you guys soon. See you at WordCamp soon.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was our last interview of the day. We have made it through most of our GiveWP-a-Thon. We have one thing left to do, or 2 really, which is our 2 giveaways. I still don't see any comments in here with your posts. I might be missing some in the community channel though, so I'm going to check with Allie about that on a chat over here real quick. And then we're going to give this away. So actually, somebody did ask about whether or not the WPBR licenses are for participants or viewers. They're for participants, and that is everybody that I interviewed today. So every interviewee gets a WPBR license. We do have a sale going on WP Business Reviews. So if you are interested in that, go get that before it gets taken down. Let's see if anybody entered to win our swag giveaway. Oh, Herb, you used our save the date template as well. That's awesome. How did that go for you? I would love to hear about it. And I'm still trying to figure out if anybody entered our last swag giveaway in the community group. If anybody here wants to enter to win that last swag giveaway right now, just make sure you like or follow one of our pages, either Twitter or Facebook, post about it, and then link to your post in the comments here. And for our Plus Plan giveaway, I think it's probably no surprise that ShelterBox Canada has got the most comments by far. I'm going to double check later to see and make sure I didn't miss any, but ShelterBox Canada definitely wins our Plus membership or Plus plan today. So thank you so much for that, you guys. And Herb, oh, that's so cool. So Herb used our Save the Date template for Giving Tuesday last week ahead of time, and they hit 2,000 of their $5,000 goal before Giving Tuesday. So that's pretty awesome. Yeah, sweet. So thank you, ShelterBox, for winning. Thank you, Herb, for participating and sharing that bit of information. And our last swag giveaway is going to go to nobody. Well, actually, it'll go home with me if nobody enters. So make sure you enter now. Kirkland thinks he's funny. So I'm going to find another way to give away this swag bag. So just know that there's probably going to be another swag giveaway since I can't get anybody to enter this last one. But I would like to say thank you to our moderator, Kirkland, for moderating because he did a good job today. Wave to the camera, Kirkland. He created this nifty frame that we have up top, and he does all of our graphic design. So if you see some cool social media graphic, he did it, not me. Thank you all for joining us today, and have a wonderful Giving Tuesday. Please let us know how your campaigns went, and remember that we do have advice on our website for what to do if you didn't reach your goal today, because it will happen to some people, but it's not something to be upset about, definitely. So thank you all. Have a great Giving Tuesday.